Good morning, good afternoon, and good gracious, everybody. It's the S.H.O.P for Social Positivity. Today we're at the Forbidden Carnival Gallery, which is 64A Marketplace, Chippenham, Wiltshire, England, the earth. Come on in. Let's see what they've got here at the Forbidden Carnival. Upstairs, maybe you can speed this up while we go in. Oh, here he is then. Oh man, Griffiths. Look at this. Wow. Totally amazing. So we're just doing a sort of establishment shot for you now. These are these media times. Wow. Is that one of yours?
Yeah.
How much is that? I might have to get that.
It's actually, because it's against the window, you get a lot of light through it.
Yeah.
Pops a bit more when it's got some power.
Yeah.
You put it on the board.
Yeah. Here's Johnny.
My studio in there.
Wicked. So, so everyone who doesn't know Griffiths is one of our more adventurous, interesting artists in the area, let alone. There's another one over there. These are fantastic. These are all new. Sorry, I'm getting a bit carried away.
That's a guy from Essex called BRT.
This is?
Yeah.
Wicked.
He's one of our artists in the show, those two.
Yeah.
Let me turn that music down.
Oh, did I? Yeah, alright. But this is. Superb. Do you want to have a look round while I, this is great, mate.
So yeah, we're trying to I'm getting some old fairground signs.
Yeah.
That guy is still traditional fairground sign writer.
Wow.
That's one of his old signs. So, yeah.
Amazing.
We're a mixture of lowbrow, pop surreal, dark, street, comic book,
Great. This is superb stuff. Montague Top. Where should we do this interview? Although I'm loving it, just wandering around looking at this beautiful stuff. It's great. Whatever you want, man. Oh, let's go. Can we have a little look in here so that the audience can see your...
Yeah, go in, and that's where I work.
Oh, wow. Look at this. This is an absolute blessing. Nothing like being in an artist's studio. I find it to be a real honour. Lauren's used to it now. We did the fantastic... That geezer, did you ever see him?
Who?
From VAR. What was his name?
Croatia.
Yeah.
He showed me his work.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Totally. We should get you two together. He'd love this. It's a completely different medium, but it's the same idea of looking at life from the same idea. Listen to me as if wow. This is fantastic.
It's mainly my collected art in here.
Right.
I've got quite a collection
Yeah.
I've built up over the years. Just reminds me of what.
Harold, you dirty old man.
That's a Montague Tot original.
Yeah. It looks like that's you, is it? Self-portrait?
Yeah, that's a self-portrait.
That's a lovely thing, actually, mate. That's really lovely.
Yeah, I can do proper painting.
You do proper painting. You're a proper painter, aren't you? Artist. The fact it might be abstracted or what the subject matter is what defines it, and the medium, I guess. But no, the stuff you do is fantastic anyway, regardless if, on a technical level. Right. Welcome to the S.H.O.P inside this fantastic gallery. The first of its kind, not just in good old Chippenham, but actually I bet you'd have to go a long way to find something as unique and as interesting. Like this character here. Griffiths, how you doing, my friend?
Hello.
Lovely to see you again. You'll know we've had the pleasure of interviewing and promoting Si and Mike Long's
Yield Hall shows.
Yield Hall shows,
Yeah.
which again bring this type of diverse, eclectic, interesting, stimulating, thought-provoking, and that's just the door. This is really amazing. So explain a bit about yourself for those that don't know, and say why and how this came about, and I'll try and shut up. It's going to be hard.
It's sort of the realisation of a 15-year dream that I've had to have an art studio with a gallery that could be open to the public. And for many years, I'm a lowbrow, pop surreal, dark artist, a bit quirky, but off the wall. I've been doing this, how long have I been doing this? Probably 15 years now, properly. Working out of a converted room in my house. And then last year I found a room for rent in this building upstairs and moved in there, so I had my own studio, and there was enough room for a mini gallery, but it didn't really work. And then in February this year, these two rooms came available, and I thought, this is it, it's now or never, I'm going to go for this. It's not ideal. Ideally I'd like street level,
Yes.
but finding street level property that's affordable for just a working artist is impossible at the moment. So I spoke with the landlord in February. We had a good look round, and it just spoke to me. This room, there's such great light in this room. We've had to pull the blind down for this, but there's such great light in here.
Yes, yeah.
And I thought, right, let's do it. So we sorted out the legal stuff, and it's been about 10 weeks from that moment where I said, right, I'm going to go for this, to here we are, and then tomorrow night, May the 5th, is the official opening. And I've got, I think, I've lost count, 14 artists showing, all in a similar vein to me, but not the same. Yeah. So we've got dark art to street art to pop surreal to comic book art. And 14 from all over the world, and I mean that. We got two exhibiting from America.
So, well, you exhibit in America, don't you?
I exhibit
Portland,
in America, and I've got a piece in a show in Los Angeles in June, which I'm going over for, and doing a bit of travelling. Having a holiday, I need it.
Do you want anyone to come and do a podcast from that one?
Do a podcast from the States?
Yeah, Los Angeles, because Lauren likes to travel.
Yeah, fine. Come.
I literally told Maya today I didn't want to go to the States because I spend all my time telling them what an undemocratic country they've got.
All right, let's not start.
Yeah, let's not start that. So you've got artists from all over the world. How many local? Because you've got Bristol artists, haven't you?
I've got Emma Mike's here. Ray Melody's showing, so a number of local artists.
Where's Ray Melody stuff then?
You wouldn't know it was hers because it's her dark side. It's over there. It's the small dark pieces. She's got, and she taps into a wonderful dark side to her work.
That's literally her head going off now. Dark side. Right, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't in a million years have actually associated any of that. She normally does kind of big, bright doodads,
great, wonderful work she does, but she's got this incredible dark side.
Yeah,
trying to tap into her and get out of her because it suits this gallery.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because we were talking to one of our artists, Tammy Lovell. She's, about exhibiting here. I don't know what happened there, but her stuff's quite risky.
Yeah, I did message her.
Yeah, I know you did. I know I talked to her about it. I just sort of said this. I don't really know. Oh no, she did come. She came to the Yield Hall exhibition, so she got an idea that this was thing. So yeah, no, maybe she will be. She need to be. This is superb. I mean,
well, maybe something for the future.
Of course.
What I've got, I've got a friend, artist, Sarah Christie, who works over there,
Yeah.
she's looking at some part-time work for the gallery,
Yeah.
so organising shows. What
Yeah.
we would like to do is have a new exhibition every month. That's a lot to kick off
It's massive.
from nothing to
Yeah.
go into one a month.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel I've got the contacts to be able to do it,
Yeah.
but the organisation is going to be taxing. But
Yeah.
so we might go to every 2 months. This one's going to run for 2 months.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
Um,
a hell of a lot of stuff to get together to have only for 4 weeks. This is crazy.
I mean, it's easier to do if it's a one-man show or
Yeah,
a
of course.
two-man show,
But
which
this-
we will be doing.
this-
These group
yeah.
shows will probably only do 2 or 3 a year,
Yeah.
because I didn't realise how much work and effort it would take out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the idea. We will be open. We're not sure about opening hours, medium to long term.
Yeah.
At the moment, we shall be open Saturdays and Sundays, 10 till 3, because that's when most people are around. But if you want to come in outside that,
Yeah.
it'll be by appointment. Just give me a ring and we can arrange
got-
something.
Right, we need
What
to
you're
get
looking for.
just the details, because we're going to put it on this. Please put this. The details of how to contact Si are on these Forbidden Carnival gallery. So the numbers and stuff. So Lauren, if I give that to you, will you ensure that it's 074 is I can't actually read. I don't even mind saying that. Thank you. Yeah, I get it. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
That's basically how we've got this far.
Yeah.
I've got contacts in, as I say, Los Angeles, Dark Art Emporium, and also Portland, Oregon, Brassworks
Yeah.
Gallery, and also in LA, Hyena Gallery. And I've sort of based what I've done around what they've done
Yeah.
in the States. Obviously, this sort of gallery exhibiting this sort of work in the States is much more prevalent. There's a lot more. I'm not sure of too many others. There's in this country. There's NTKO in that's not that kind of gallery. In Louth in Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire,
who
yeah.
I've been to, and one of the directors there has got a couple of pieces in there. Those two directly in front of you.
Yeah.
So we help promote each other.
That's wicked.
Yeah, we like a bit of humour as well as the dark stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the point, isn't it? What you've got is a kind of almost like an outside view, looking from many different angles at society, a critique and an observation, and just good old-fashioned, almost
a bit tongue-in-cheek at times.
Yeah,
a bit of irony.
Yeah, a bit of irony. I was
Yeah.
going to say it's very ironic. Almost, what do you call that thing? Like, doesn't matter what you call it, because you can see it now. Would you say there's an age? Just because I want to warn any of the parents of the children that we work with, is it suitable for all ages? What would you say?
Tell me? I would
Oh,
say.
don't get me telling you stuff. I didn't know that Ray Melody was so dark, and I
I'd
would.
say 16. I would think. wouldn't
Yeah, okay, say that. Just because what you don't want is a situation is an unsuspecting parent or carer coming here and going, "Wow, I thought it was going to be." It's like, no, it's but it needs to be seen, and that there's absolutely such an eclectic mix of different types. It's not just paintings, is it? There's all sorts of methods and methodology that's used here. So there's sculptures, there's all sorts of really interesting and stimulating stuff, and it makes you think about life from all sorts of angles. Now, you've called it, what's it called? The
Hail the Curious.
Hail the
Curious.
Which is kind of it, isn't it? That and that's why it's a shame. It cannot possibly be for all ages, but at the same time, 16 upward to stimulate another look at, or a different look at many different perspectives of art and comment and society.
Well, it works on for me, it works on two levels.
Yeah.
It the curiosity of the artist
Yes.
who wants to go
Yeah.
into wherever. I mean, that piece in the corner there is a piece about mental health.
Yeah.
About my mental health, Alone in My Mind.
Wow.
I mean, that's quite a dark, deep piece.
Yes.
So it's about hailing the curiosity of the artist to go where some artists wouldn't go, or
Yeah.
maybe a lot of artists. You know, there's a lot of art out there that is landscapes and bowls of fruit and stuff. I
Pet
call it,
portraits.
yeah, dentist waiting room art.
What's
I
it?
call it. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. It's just not me.
No, but it is kind of a waste of paint. You can get a
Well,
photograph.
you said that, not me. So it's
Time's
the
running out.
curiosity of the artist to go and delve where it's a bit dark.
Yeah, the art for me is not all those pretty, almost moronic, without wishing to, I'm not being insulting, what I'm trying to say is it's like, come on now, so many things, there's so many things going on in society, just to kind of almost paper over them by pretending everything's, all right, look, here's Fluffy, he might have been dead for 10 years, but you'll have this portrait for us, like, get a photograph. Point being is, this stimulates another perspective, and I think there isn't enough time for the humans on this planet to be, don't know what word to use here. I want to say something else, but I won't. To be, I'll say, being distracted by all sorts of muggle-like propaganda.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Oh, that was kind, that was gentle there. I did
I mean,
really
this
well.
is an anti-Tory piece, this oink here.
Anti-Tory? Why would you be anti-Tory? Say Griffiths, man.
I mean, Sarah's work over there is very feminist.
100%, I love it.
And then Emma Sally's work there is just, it's a statement about the state of what we're doing to the planet, you know?
This is what I'm talking about all day long. This is what I'm talking about. It's not just because you are pointing out essentially what pigs and pigs that troughs, noses in the troughs, sort of bottom feeders that they are necessary. So not all of them, obviously, some of them must be nice. It's got to be, just by law of averages. There's so many Tories that some of them have got to be nice. This again, I'm not going to keep pointing at. I keep pointing at paintings, and
Come down and see.
That's what I mean.
If you're over 16.
Yeah, if you're over 16, you've got to nothing. But I'm saying, what an absolute joy to not have to go to any of these, say, big cities and centres where you'd expect the unexpected. This is even more impressive because you have managed, and you've got it from America and all over this. If it's from America, it's got to be right. But the point is, look at their cruise missiles. They were brilliant. The idea that you as a respected artist, and I know because we've talked many times, we've had coffee.
Kind of you.
Well, it's true. And getting to see the artist's studio is something else. I think I told you the story about many years ago, because Joe Tilson, the pop artist, he'd probably like some of this. But do you know Joe Tilson? You ever heard of him? Have a look at his stuff. Yeah. But his wonderful family and daughter used to live over Christian Wilford or somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. But and I got to stay the night there, and we happened to have a print of his in our art room at Sheldon School. And I was able, after a life drawing class, went back there and I was amazed because I think it was an old vicarage. And you know how big those vicarages are, right? Where's all the money gone? Oh, look at the vicarages. Massive building, ex thing. I think it was an ex vicarage. Art the size that you could only ever see in obviously big spaces and whatever. So I was like totally gobsmacked. And then I was allowed to go meet him in his studio, and it's like I don't think his daughter quite understood what that did to my brain. It's like yours there. It's like, oh my God, it's like a curiosity shop, and it's not just because it's items or objects that you could pick up and go, this is that. It's, you know, that this human being, like yourself in there, like our man in VAR, it's like seeing his materials and seeing the product like this and going, wow, your brain translates this stuff into this in this space is amazing. But he
I just looked around and I said to him, "Oh, we've got a print of duplicate print, not a signed print, of one of your pieces in our art room at Sheldon School called Geometry." And he said, "Oh yes, Geometry." Now he's done thousands of pieces of art, but bless that man, he searched for this book that he'd saved from an incinerator in Italy. They had a house out in Italy, and he just saw this guy. He said, "Oh, can I just look at that?" And he took it, and he was inspired. So he showed me. When he showed me that book, and I was able to go into school the next day and go to my teacher. I met Joe Tilson last night. He showed me where he got the inspiration. I got detention now. It was absolutely amazing. Now, the reason I'm saying this is, are people are going to be able to see your studio? Or is that going to be locked off?
It's not really open to the public.
No, okay. Well, I thought
it's actually quite a
intimate thing, isn't it?
Private space.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I felt really good about being able to go in there. Really do.
Because, it's almost...
Same as Ray's over there. It's lovely.
It's like my sanctuary. It's where I go to create and do stuff that I don't do anywhere else. It's quite...
100%.
Yeah.
So, I get it.
So no, that door will be closed.
Yeah.
Where were we? Where were we in the story? So
the stories, you've got people from all over. I'm saying that people would normally have to go to some big metropolis to see such an eclectic mix.
That was the thing about Darren Warrow from the Devising sort of said, in Chippenham it stands out because, I could get, if we went to Bath or Bristol or London or Manchester or wherever, you swallow that with everyone else that's doing this sort of thing. When I say this sort of thing, I mean independent gallery.
Yeah.
Here in Chippenham, it stands out because it's so unusual.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a downside to that. It's Chippenham. It's not the centre of the art world.
Yeah.
But hey, who knows?
Well, here's my thought on such things. The Beatles lived next door to they were neighbours, weren't they? So I'm imagining, and I've known a few famous people before they were famous, and so they are just normal people. Now, the point I'm making here is that when I go do talks at Wiltshire College about filmmaking, it's like, you definitely could, in this room, could be BAFTA nominated or whatever creators. And I know that because myself and Richard Hawkins went to that college, and all these years later we produced and he directed a BAFTA nominated film. So I know it's feasible from such a place as Chippenham. In fact, I would go further to say that Chippenham bizarrely is quite unique. And you say it's not the centre of the art universe, but if you were to look what equidistance it is to most places, other than itself, by the way, of interest, it's a canny place to live.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I like the idea, particularly because of all this nonsense. We'll no doubt have a lockdown soon because of avian flu or some such thing, that people think they can probably make money off of. So we'll all be locked in, or there will be 15-minute cities. That was an idea, wasn't it? That we won't allowed to travel. We won't be allowed to travel. So this is why we need county farms instead of building on them, so that we actually have some food. That we have this on our doorstep. Now, when I lived in London and people would come, I'd take them to all the sites and they said, it must be amazing having this on your doorstep. So the funny thing is, I only go and see these places when I'm taking visitors. On a day-to-day, I wouldn't go to all these places in London. I'm suggesting, however, that, and are you in contact with the media course at the college?
No.
Only because, again, we should try and put you in contact with it because, again, they will do art trips all over the place. Well, if you can walk down from the college here with a private...
yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be really happy to do that.
This is really, really inspiring stuff, and I think it helps, and as it did with me meeting Joe Tilson, as it did our fantastic art teacher taking us to the Japan exhibition at the Royal Exhibition down in London. It's like mind-blowing stuff to see Picasso's in whatever gallery it was in Bath, and then me then going to see as many galleries as I could possibly get. But you're totally right. I don't know that there was ever an art gallery before the one we started in our shop in Chippenham, and I know the museum do a little bit of one, and which is great, but it's, you know, it's also a museum, so, which is fantastic. So in a way it should happen. The foyer of the Neald Hall sometimes has artists, but there's not really, other than the Kandu shop in Emery Gate and this place, that are actually publicly accessible places for people. And we have, in fact, what we don't have, let's face it, in that place is this type of, I'm not going to say subversive, it's not subversive, is it?
It's a bit subversive.
Well, okay, I'm glad that you
wants
agree,
to
but
be a little bit
I think it
subversive.
does.
I like it being a bit subversive.
Right, okay.
Because part of an artist's job is to challenge the norm, challenge,
It's true.
I'm not going to get political, but
Everything's political.
challenge governments like we've got at the moment. This piece...
A non-elected one, non-elected Prime Minister is brilliant.
This piece was actually painted for a show down in Weymouth that happened over Easter that was called Greed.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing show, and it was so anti-Tory, anti-capitalism.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, you know, this gallery's all about that, but, you know, what I'm trying to say is it's an artist's job to question things.
Yeah.
And, you know, question governments, question...
I believe that. That's why I have
anything.
I have a sort of nervous reaction to pet portraits. It's like, what are you doing with your time? Now, people say, there's space and time for everyone. There isn't. I don't even think people should waste electricity making crap films like horror movies. Why do people make horror movies? There's enough horror. Well, great, but there's enough horror on a day-to-day basis in everyday life, in poverty, in food banks. That's horror for me. That you'd need to get someone to divert. I think I maybe should be some sort of censor. People should bring their scripts and say, what, you want to kill loads of people unnecessarily? And da-da-da. No. Go home and think of something better to do with your time. Like working at a food bank. But yes, I get it. I get there's all sorts of whatevers.
Coming back to what you were saying about going to schools and saying, you know, you can do this.
Yeah.
This is, I'm nobody. This is just done with self-determination, self-belief, some help from some very good friends.
Yes.
And when I say help, support, emotional support.
Yeah.
But if I can do this, anyone can do what they want.
Yes, brilliant. Well said, sir. Well said. That's actually it. A lot of the reasons I don't think people understand why we do these podcasts is like to elevate and to promote individuals. And that we were asked by what's his name, Mark Smith, at the chief executive of the town council, to do those interviews with the councillors, which we did because it was a public platform and was like, you know, actually, and it's good. Everyone should look at those, especially in time for next year's elections, to give them a platform, as opposed to me saying, "No, I'm sorry, I don't want to promote these people because I've seen, I'm a community development worker. We work all right across the communities up and down the country. I know they're not carrying out what they say, so I could just, but there's actually, no, wait a minute, we're going through a difficult time, it's the pandemic, let's give these people a platform in a kind of real democratic way of going, this is what I'm about, these are the things I'm going to try and do in an office. Now, the interesting thing about having done them, of course, is now I'm going to get to be able to compare and contrast exactly what they did say and what they didn't do. Now, I'm with you. I think art is that. I think it is it's a vehicle, or whatever, I don't know what words here. Maybe I should have spent more time listening to teachers as opposed to mocking the world. It's a vehicle, it's not a vehicle, is it? What is it? It's a medium, whatever, that stimulates sometimes adverse reactions, but you're okay with that, aren't you?
No, that's cool.
That's it. A reaction. You're not doing it to shock people. That's not your thing, because that is incredibly sad, that painting there. I mean, it's beautiful. It's got all sorts of lovely colours, technique, whatever. But essentially, it's provoking an emotional response from another human being. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I was in a dark place when I painted that.
Yeah.
But I want people, I would like people to be, who have been in similar places, that feel alone, that feel that there's no one else out
Yeah.
there that's felt like that.
Yeah.
To see that painting and go, I'm not alone. I'm
Yeah.
actually okay.
Do you know what?
That's
Yeah.
for me. That's what art's
Yes.
about. Yeah, it's about like in your face
Yeah.
graffiti type. Like that's my fun. That's
Yeah.
my petch portrait there.
Yeah.
That's a bit of fun. But you can also say something. I've done some other graffiti style stuff that's exhibited in Burt's Boards, the independent skate shop
Yes.
in
Yeah.
Chippenham.
Yeah.
Hence we've got a skateboard over there with some of my art on, and we've got some
Wicked.
others. Which is fun, but you can also say things. You can say political things in stuff like that.
So I'm still laughing at that.
You keep seeing more of that, don't
Yeah, I
you?
do.
So that's
true.
good.
It's
so
true.
so this gallery's about international. We got 2 Americans in this
Yeah.
show. And national artists, but it's also about giving a platform to local artists to be part of this, and somewhere to show.
Yeah. I liken that to I'm a say fan. Is it a fan of Leonard Cohen? Right. And people who know Leonard Cohen, not personally but musically, will go, "Oh, that's so depressing." I said, "No, you see, here's the thing. It's the opposite." Because he obviously has felt all these emotions, as you have. He's transcended them in some way, maybe by the very process of art, in this case.
Oh, for sure. It's a therapy.
It's a therapy.
Sure.
It's cathartic therapy. By the sharing of it, and you listening to the fact that he died of old age. This guy, who you all think, oh, I'm going to cut my wrist out. You're not. You're going to listen to go, I'm not alone. There are other people who feel the same things. This person is putting words to how I feel. Now I know that other people feel that. Now I know that I'm sharing that.
Yeah.
That person got through. How do I know? Because they've created some art. And in doing so probably help their own mental health, and they'll help other people.
And help that
There
person
you
that's
go.
looking at
There
it
you
because
go.
they're not feeling
Yeah,
it. And that's
yeah.
what it's all about.
Right, so take that in mind, people, when you come here, because you'll see all sorts of stuff. Some of it will be challenging in all sorts of levels. I don't know, because obviously you all got your own brains and what have you. But one way or the other, I think you will come out of here thinking, wow, we have got something quite unique going on here. And that is thanks to you. And I get all your supporters, and I love them for it, because it really makes for a much richer tapestry of local life. Because, I chose, luckily, to come back to, luckily not for Chippenham Town Council, but for everyone else who's had the help, come back to Chippenham because I loved the community well before I left and went to London and what have you. Coming back, bringing what I've learned and connections and stuff. We've had all sorts of good stuff because of that. But the basis of a good community, we still have it until, of course, it's destroyed by all this overbuilding and what have you. But that's another fight. This, however, gives me great hope and pride in artists and meaningful, authentic artists with soul and integrity, as opposed to your average pet portraiture. Hey, don't keep going on about pet portraits, mate. I am. Si, anything else you want to say?
Yeah,
It doesn't cost to get in here, does it? Or does
No,
it? Should
no.
people maybe put a donation to keep your electricity going?
Donation would be good.
Let's get a donation thing going. I'm going to do it right now. Lauren, get one out. No, I am.
This wouldn't have happened without Ray Melody,
Yeah.
without Sarah Christie, without Montague Tott, without Jimma Wilmot, and without Emma Sally.
Yeah.
They have been my support.
Fantastic. Well,
throughout
fair play
this.
to them. I've actually got a few bits of some of those artists on my wall at home.
Yeah. I have.
I love them. I got yours as well, but that's in that art gallery.
Right.
I think we're going to need to start a donations thing, brother.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we
Right.
could.
Oh, I'm going to start it now. I am going to literally start it now. No, I'm not looking at you. I look like you. I'm just
All
there.
right, is that a wrap?
No, and
we
you
still
said
go?
anything else? Yeah, we can still go. You said anything you want to say, but I'm actually thinking,
No,
have I got any cash in my pocket to give you?
Just come down. Okay, so it's open. The big inaugural opening is tomorrow evening, Friday the 5th of May,
Yeah.
6:30 till 9.
Yeah.
We're going to have a chocolate clown cake.
Yeah.
That's produced locally by Cakes by Mrs. F, who is a local cake maker. It will be opened officially at 7:30 by Mark Allen from the Antiques Roadshow. And then for this show, we'll be open Saturdays and Sundays, 10 till 3, until the end of the show, which is the end of June. That's about it, I think.
Right, because we were going to do this last week to promote it for the opening, but unfortunately we couldn't, could we? So we're not here tomorrow, but this is going out Sunday. So this will go out on the 7th.
Okay.
Yeah? Which means that you presumably this is a private opening on Friday anyway. But from now on, obviously all these times and dates we put on this thing, people can refer to it, and we've got stuff in our shop, haven't we? Already about this.
Yeah.
We'll put more of that. We'll start a collection for you in a minute. We're at Will Lawton's. We're filming that, haven't we, at Malmesbury, which is great. You know Will Lawton?
Yeah. I was trying to work it so that he came and did a little set on the opening night, but there's not enough room. Really.
Well, it would have been, except he's got a sold out gig in Malmesbury Town Hall. So.
Oh right. Well,
you that combined, you know.
That's great. It's sold out.
My God, yeah, they're fantastic.
I know one.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you get, which again, is great. Having local artists who are so fantastic. So that's that. We're doing a load of stuff over the Folk Festival. So look at the wonderful Chippenham Town Folk Festival. We'll be putting out more interviews next week and the week after with Bob Berry, Dick Stanger, to talk about that. Again, something, regardless of what people think about folk, the fact that's been going 50 years is a tribute to, again, a big team of people, a nucleus as it normally is, and then a wider expanse. We've got new people that have taken over, Kat and all those wonderful people who've taken it over and handed on the baton. This, for me, there'll be 16 years and over people that will come in here and go, oh yeah, and take the inspiration, and in later life they'll go, yeah, I can do a gallery, I can get a collegiate of artists, a whole whatever, to come and work together to stimulate some type of, I don't know, just a better sense of society and community. So big kudos to you and everyone that helped you do it. What else have we got coming up? Minety Festival. Look at all these things. Please, Maya, put all these things on here. But no more so than this wonderful human being and this amazing stuff that we've got here. Si Griffiths, we salute you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not doing anything for the coronation, I wouldn't imagine.
No.
Spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Just another speck in the cosmic shower.